Hello and welcome back to Planet Stronghold Colonial Defence. Are they coming our way? No, but they are headed towards a small research facility. If we leave now, we might be in time to stop them. Would you like to handle this one, Alex? No, you go have fun. I'll focus on things here. Mission 9, the Red Sun Desert. Because it was after 10 they said that we'd be able to use anybody we wanted, wasn't it? Well, aren't you going to say it? Say what? Play coy if you want, but I know what you're thinking. How could I find the Robo-Brain Trojan so quickly, and yet I can't determine how Schiller broke through our security? It's a top concern, but, well, if it hasn't escaped your notice, it's the only one of many. Someone might be helping Schiller while the Robo-Brain's actions were external. However, I don't think that's your main concern, is it? No, it isn't. Look, do you trust me? I mean, after all, I could be the source of the breach. I trust you, Mitsuki. I've served with you for a while now. If you were a traitor, well, now would be an odd time for it to appear. Like chess. Helps if one thinks several moves ahead. Yeah, but unless one is part of the Internal Intelligence Agency, it's also a good way to develop a strong sense of paranoia. But is it truly paranoia if someone is out to get you? Well, let's face it, what's the old line? Just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they aren't out to get you? It is if your mind fails to see the threat which is truly there, and not the anticipated one. Besides, I bet this isn't what's really bothering you, is it? No, it isn't. I'm the best there is, and I can't figure out how it was done, and it's maddening. Well, I know this is of little help, but what can you tell me of this research facility? It's a joint venture with Lunaferix Industries and the military. Top secret stuff, even I don't have the clearance for it, but it looks like they were researching nanomachines. I might be mistaken, but isn't that above your clearance? That's what I just said. Besides, if they didn't want me to know, they would have put stronger protection on it. There has to be a reason why the Robo-Brains picked this specific target. The Robo-Brains are some of the more enigmatic races. Attempts to communicate usually result in failure. However, forensics after attack shows that Robo-Brains copy everything from the computer's databases. Art, music, diaries. If it's recorded, they take it. And it means they find us interesting enough to study as well. It's doubtful they're getting down to some sick beat. Mind you, with their serpentine bodies, they could be surprisingly good. Sinuous and graceful. But who would lead? I guess I should ask them myself. We're here now. Okay, so we can have 20 cards. And... yep. Take Sam out, put her in. Unoptimal balance. Target. Deals 1 damage to a random enemy with robotic. Actually, that's not a bad card to have. I'm going to put a couple of those in. If we're fighting robots, we're going to want laser turrets. And we're going to want a force field, so I've still got walls in there, so we'll take that out, put an extra force field in. And I think we can ditch the flamethrower turrets, put an extra force field in, and an extra regular infantryman, because they're pretty good. And there's nothing we can play on this first turn, because they all cost money. Well, that was useless. Use Mitsuki's hacker card and unoptimal balance cards to quickly eliminate the enemy defenses. Helpful, thanks for the advice. I can play nothing here. Okay, let's at least get a regular infantryman in there. Can't do much, but at least he's present. Aha! Force field card. Excellent. This is what I need. Okay, Mr. Regular Infantryman. Kill that thing for me. Because that lets me bring in a marksman team. Okay, more infantrymen. Have her open fire. Well, this is going badly. Because we had a difficult start where I couldn't play anything for about 3 turns. need to start thinning them out, but I don't have the firepower to, or more importantly, I don't have the health to be able to pull it off effectively. No, just hit there, because they shred their way through reasonably effectively. Bloody hell. Because, I mean, those two are both really high damage, but I'm about to fail this mission. Retry the last battle. Okay, much better starting draw. Yes, thank you. Okay, play the force field card, get another sharpshooter in. Excellent, let's get all the sharpshooters in, because they're actually really powerful. Excellent. Laser turret, please. Thank you. And I think you guys can decloak and start targeting the Robobrain Chief. And get the Mark II cannon turret and the marksman team. Fantastic. You guys fire at will. So yeah, I basically started with a bad draw and couldn't do much from it. There's something wrong here, Captain. If you look closely, there are some bodies missing. You look in the wreckage of the station, and what Mitsuki says is true. A good portion of the people are indeed gone. Were they taken by scavengers? No. There are plenty of soldiers, lower-level staff, but none of the researchers. If I was to take a guess, I'd say they were kidnapped. Are the Robobrains in the habit of taking prisoners? Normally, no. I caught another snippet of transmission. This was just one target of 3. Do you know where they're going to attack next? There's little I can do from here, but I'm sure I can break the encryption back at the colony. Scene 9. The Science Lab. From the look on your face, is it safe to say the mission wasn't a complete success? Am I that transparent? Well, if you want to play a round of poker, I'm sure we can fit you into this week's game. That is, if you're ready to lose the shirt off your back. I wouldn't mind joining just to see that. I can guarantee it'd be top ratings on the Extrasolarian Sports Network, especially since the High Court struck down blurring censorship. Especially sad considering how they ended up how they ended the Mud Wrestling League. I thought it was cancelled after the performance-enhancing drugs were found. Round Yalaga Penis and Hawkus Eyestalk aren't performance enhancers. Not unless you want to see how fast it takes you to get your stomach pumped. Still, you can make a tidy profit from it. The outpost was destroyed, almost everyone killed. Almost? Does that mean there were survivors? It's hard to say. We identified most of the bodies, but some were definitely missing. More letters to send home about dead and gone. More time to grieve? More time for others to desire revenge? For some, this loss may be too much. Grief counsellors are at the breaking point themselves. That's the risk one takes in the military, or on a brand new colony. If you want safety, stay on Earth. More to the point, the head researchers were gone. I'm not the tracker legionaries, but their bodies are missing. Prisoners, either to negotiate with us or to torture. I've studied the Robobrains as much as anyone. They aren't in the habit of taking prisoners. So this is new behaviour? You know, this tour of duty is definitely making me hate surprises. I caught part of a transmission. From what I could ascertain, the Robobrains actually had 2 more targets. Lucius, I need you to decrypt the data and find out where. Affirmative, madam. Standard security protocols? Yes. Isolate a sec to prevent contamination. Alex, did you manage to find out what the outpost was studying while I was out? That could give us an idea of what the Robobrains want. What reason do you need? Every damn thing on this planet has it in for us. I don't know. Sheila seemed pretty nice. Don't be taken in by such a pretty face. Our databases are rather lean on details, but it seems Luna Phoenix partnered with the Imperial Psionics Institute. They were researching ways to induce psionics, even in people lacking the gift. Which gives some motivation to the Robobrains. I wonder if the researchers were closer than everyone expected. From the data Mitsuki obtained, it appears the Robobrains were on a headhunting expedition. Robobrains were looking for employees? Well, those glass domes must get fairly dirty. A person could seriously clean up. You're not as far as you might expect, Galena. Those brains aren't for show, they're real. So the robo-brains aren't entirely robots. Cyborgs would be the most applicable term. But you said they left most bodies behind. What, aren't we good enough for their brain games? We want only the best, the brightest minds they can find. But wouldn't their victims rebel against them? Actually, with enough time, even the strongest mind can be brainwashed. It's quite ingenious, actually. You don't have to sound quite so admiring. However, it is effective. Safe to assume the robo-brains have a means of removing someone's brain. If you suffer that fate, it's hard to go home. Family reunions would certainly be awkward. It sounds like something out of a fun horror movie. It's the plot of the film you made us watch last year. I still can't look at a whisk in the same way. Hey, The Legend of Deimos Hollow is a cult classic. Furthermore, we determined the next 2 robo-brain targets. The first is in the rebel colony. We can't let them suffer the same fate. But would they accept our help? Even more worrisome, would they believe us? They can. They will. There we won't have a choice. Mitsuki, what was the other target? A small margarine colony, one which lies along our border. Good. Let the aliens fend for themselves. I disagree. We owe Schiller a debt for her information from earlier. This will balance the scales. So, 2 targets, 2 captains. Sounds like a plan, Alex. Would it be wise to expose yourself to such danger? You could send another envoy. The Margarines would take it as a sign of disrespect if some low-ranking person sought an audience with their queen. On a more practical level, you don't want to owe the Margarines a favour. There are many stories where those who did came to a bad end. And the rebels would take it as an insult as well, one which they might repay by taking it out of your hide. Well, you can't blame the rebels, though. When you start out with so little, pride is what keeps you going. So, who are you going to save? The rugged rebel or the graceful queen? Well, that's easy. I will go for the queen, I think. I'll go to the queen, you go to the rebels. Sheila will remember this. Alright, I'll go see if Caden's willing to listen. Sometimes I think working with the Madrons would be easier. From his files, Caden himself could be one of the reasons for the attack. Imagine his surprise when the Empire's the better choice. Warn the Madrons in Mission 10, Madron Lover Achievement. If the opportunity presents itself, ask him where he got his jacket. I just love the fringe. Hey, Alex? Yes? Good luck. Mission 10, Madra area. My scouts reported a disturbance. First I thought it was one of those obvious Dradens, but instead it's my favourite human captain. I'm afraid you're going to have to turn around now. You're approaching my borders. I'm sorry, Queen Shella, but I can't do that. Are you invading me? I must say, this is the most polite invasion I've experienced. I mean you no harm, Your Majesty, and I apologise for this untimely intrusion, but I didn't dare wait. It is forgiven, this time. So, what brings you to my domain? Robo-brains. I'm sorry, we don't deal in scrap. However, there are some reputable trading traders you can contact. No. Robo-brains are heading your way. We repulsed one of their attacks, but found they had another target in mind. You. I appreciate such kind neighbours, but you don't have to put yourself out on our account. I'm honour bound to do so. You warned us about the Hawkus, now we return the favour. Loathsome, ungrateful beasts. Your extermination of them is repayment enough. Still, if you wish to engage the Robo-brains, you have my blessing. But no military backup. I like you, I really do, dear Captain. Compared to the Paladins or the Apex Round, you are rather civilized. However, there is much to overcome before I feel comfortable working so closely with your species. Or you don't have the forces in the area to contain the Robo-brains. That was a shrewd and quite correct guess. Of course, if you do disperse the Robo-brains, you will have my personal gratitude. Right, well, since we're about to go into combat, that seems like an excellent point to end this part. So, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next.